there that you can
It's
turn
okay.
it.
It was yeah, it was positioned wrong. So. And did you do after you got married? Did you do any have any jobs after that, or did you?
He never wanted me to work out, so he wouldn't let me work. So I did things when I could to earn money at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I sold penny-waste plastics with plastic parties for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, then I started a daycare. I started taking care of some children and started a daycare.
So when did you start that?
Well, we'd had foster children before that. We had foster home for children.
Oh, really?
And yes, we had, I think it was 21 children
Really?
over the years
Wow.
that we had. And I think when I started my daycare was about 2 years before we moved here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
Becky
years.
would have been, about the time Becky was in the first grade or second grade that I started daycare.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I had to quit when I got asthma, but I'd still have it otherwise because I
Yeah.
love the children so.
Yeah.
And it made me money too, but I did it mostly because I could stay home and be home with Becky and
Mm-hmm.
still have some money that I earned.
Right.
It was nice.
Mm-hmm. So, what was it like having foster children? Yeah.
Well, some were fine. They liked us to take the older ones because we went camping a lot and went swimming and did a lot of activities that they thought would be good for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
But when the children are taken from a home, it's either a home where they've had abusive parents
Mhm.
or alcohol has been a problem,
Mm-hmm.
or things like that. And the kids that we really liked the best, we never did get to keep long. They'd find a relative for them to go live with or something. We had 2 little girls for 6 or 8 months once that we really loved, and they still keep in touch with us. And they both live near here, and so I see them at times, and they send me pictures and things.
Yeah.
Keep up. We had several that stole and did things like that were problems.
Mm.
But, we enjoyed having them,
Mm-hmm.
but we'd wanted more children, you see, and we had such a problem ever having children.
So how did your kids get along from like Linda and Robbie?
I think Linda was a wee bit jealous. Robbie was fine because he was young. I think the last ones we had, he was probably 2
Oh.
or 3, so there was no problem with him.
Mm-hmm.
I think Linda was a little bit jealous of him.
Mm-hmm.
But we wanted more children, and I just didn't expect it to take me so long to finally have another one.
Mm-hmm. So, what was Linda like as a child when she was little?
Very well behaved.
Yeah.
All of my friends raved about how well behaved she was on the surface. And all of my friends threw her up to their kids, that why can't you act like Linda does? She could go to a meeting, I could give her a color book and Crayolas, and she'd sit all day coloring and never say a word unless she was hungry or thirsty or something, or had to go to the bathroom, otherwise she wouldn't even talk. And I thought she was so good, and she grows up and then she tells me all these sneaky things she did behind my back that I never knew. So she wasn't quite as goody as I thought she was. But then I guess grandsons do some sneaky things too.
How about Robbie when he was little?
Well, I loved him, and he was sweet, but he never got very many compliments on his good behavior. Now, as he was growing up, he did. All the neighbors told us that of all the kids in the neighborhood, he always said, "Hello, Mr. Smith, hello, Mrs. Smith." He was always very polite, and that of all the kids, he never did any damage to their property. But Other than that, when you turn loose of him, he was running and gone. And he was always into everything. And he wasn't, as I said, I couldn't take him to a meeting and have him sit there quiet. He was too interested in everything and too wild.
And how about Becky? When she was
Very sweet. Everyone thought she was so sweet, and she was. And she was very smart. She had a natural ability for rhyming. By the time she was 2, you could say any word and she'd tell you something that rhymed with it, even if it wasn't a word. Like if you said orange, she might say morange or orange, but she'd find something that rhymed with it. And she used very big words. In fact, Mary Lou, Ursula's mother, Becky would use words that Ursula's mother would not know what they were. So she had a very good vocabulary. And she was always so happy and so sweet when she was little. Of course, she went through some stages that she wasn't so sweet and things, but she grew up sweet. So I guess typical children.